Welcome to this week's Blue Green Solution Virtual Counter Day. My name is Chris Pine, and I am with AJ from IlluminFX. Thanks for joining us, AJ.
Chris, how are you today?
I'm doing great. For those of you that haven't seen one of our Blue Green Solutions Virtual Counter Days, we've been doing this the last few months. And what we're trying to do, since we haven't been able to get out there and visit with our distributors and dealers and see as many contractors due to what's going on in this pandemic influenced world, that we would take a little time each week and be able to share some information, sometimes with new products, sometimes existing products and solutions with some of our manufacturers. We've been working with AJ and the IlluminFX team for a long time now.
Maybe 14 years.
Yeah, that's a while. I would say it's one of our favoriteest relationships, aside from the personal relationship I've got with AJ. It's always interesting, some of the projects we get to work on. We've had several. We've got a few now that are actually going to be pretty impressive. And you guys have been able to work on some cool stuff, haven't you?
We have. Quite a few interesting things, from dams and waterfalls and the Alamo and lots of other interesting projects we've been fortunate enough to work on.
Yeah, Alamo's kind of famous, I'd say, right?
It is. It was probably one of the coolest experiences of my professional life. I'm a big history buff, and being able to work on that was a humbling experience for sure.
And we started off with fiber optic. I can remember as a contractor way back when, looking through trade magazines, and there'd always be this ad that would pop up for fiber optic lighting. And who would have known, AJ, that here we'd be doing this together? But
right.
What's with fiber optic? I know we're still selling it, and we don't. What are the applications for it now?
We are, and interestingly, fiber really became big on two sides. On the commercial industrial side of things, for areas for explosion-proof situations, no UV or infrared, very specific applications for the commercial side. On the residential side, it was mostly swimming pools and spas and perimeter fiber around those types of applications. So it looked like a band of neon around the edge of the pool. We got involved. Our original background was more on the commercial industrial side, and we're also doing landscape lighting. And one thing led to another, and we ended up developing a fiber optic light kit, which really started IlluminFX, fiber optic light kit to light up backyard ponds and waterfalls. And this is the fixture, the fiber optic end fixture. So you'd shine light in this end of the fiber optic. It would be obviously much longer, up to 50 feet long, in fact. And then the light would come out the other end. And maybe I can show a little bit of light on the fiber. You can see I'm holding this up to just a little piece of strip lighting, LED strip lighting. You can see the fiber lit up. But for years, from say 2000 until now, as when the pond business was growing, this was also growing. I will say that once LEDs came out, we had a bit of a tougher time with fiber, but we still have a lot of interesting applications. I would say that if you have a large waterfall that's made up of multiple small waterfalls, there's really no better way to illuminate it than with fiber. We are now using LED fiber optic illuminators. When we started, it was halogen and metal halide. Now we have DMX controlled LED illuminators that do 16 million different colors, and you can tell them what to do when. And oddly enough, the swimming pool market is coming back. And so we now have more side emitting fiber. You light this cable up and it glows. It looks like a glowing rope or a piece of neon. And we're experimenting with new illuminators with lasers. So this is an RGB laser illuminator that you can control with your smartphone and tell it what color to be. And this will light up, 150 feet of this to go around your swimming pool.
That's amazing, and it's interesting because it seems like the commonality is water with all this. And then the other thing that we get, and sometimes it's the panic call, is that well, the electrical inspector said that we can't have any voltage within X amount of feet or right near this body of water or whatever, and what can we do? So it's
yeah, and it's a good point that you bring that up, Chris, because one of the biggest selling features of fiber is that there's absolutely no electricity going through the fiber. You get light out of this, but there's no electricity. You're shining light and only light into the other end of the fiber optic cable. So let's say you have some planting beds around a swimming pool and the inspector says, hey, you can't have anything electrified within 10 feet of the pool. You can place the illuminator outside that 10-foot zone, run your fiber cables in, and illuminate path lights. You can retrofit all sorts of fixtures with fiber and light up your plant material or any other features with that.
We're doing a lot of different things with flex lighting now, and I will say that many, and there are a lot of manufacturers that are in the landscape lighting space, many have some portion of what IlluminFX has as far as the breadth of options and the line of different choices for flex lighting. And how about a quick, and I know this will be hard, but let's dial it into a quick overview of some of the stuff that's available, some of the choices, and how somebody might make a decision as to which product would be perfect for their application.
Yeah, Chris, I guess guilty as charged. You know me for 14 years now, and you know how many rabbit holes and tangents I can go off on. But our flexible lighting family is pretty extensive. In terms of SlimFlex, that's a product that's like a LED tape light type product. We have it both in indoor versions and outdoor versions in single colors, multiple brightness levels, multiple color temperatures of white. We can do tunable white. We also have an RGB and RGBW, multiple voltages, so 12 and 24 volts. And we also have side emitting so that you can go around curved walls, which I don't think anybody else offers that at the moment. And then there are just too many ways to apply it. There's all sorts of different types of mounting channels and tracks that you could put it in, both in the outdoor space as well as the indoor space. It just as many ways as you can imagine to apply it, you can apply it. Some of the new types we're starting to offer, this is 3 millimeters wide. So it's very, very narrow. And, one of the applications that we're working on is for nursing homes. One of the biggest causes of injury for an older person is falling, losing their balance. They get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and their balance is off. And if you can put a frame of reference, let's say you put this SlimFlex around the door, now all of a sudden they have a frame of reference as to what's the horizon. And we're hoping that can help stop injuries.
That's interesting. That's interesting. What about
choices? That's outside of our industry, but anyway.
What about choices for controlling color? You say obviously, so we have RGBW. What are some of the options available for?
We have a number of options available. There are, our simplest one is our Color Select product. That's a little remote control an RF remote, and it does 22 static colors, 5 levels of dimming. There's some pre-programmed modes, you know, fading, flashing, various color changes that you can operate with it with the modes. Then our Color Select Plus is a phone app based smartphone application that gives you a color wheel on your smartphone, and that allows you to save some scenes and do some limited customization with the color changing. I have that at my house on the inside, and I have to say, Chris, I love it. In the morning, we put it on a bluer, like a real high color temperature white, and it, you know, I always kind of bought into the whole circadian rhythm thing and how light affects your biological clock. But until I started experiencing it myself, and my wife and I will get up for coffee, and when we wake up, we have the lights programmed for a real high color temperature, almost a bluish white, so it looks like we're sitting outside. And it's amazing to me how much more energized you feel. And I know I'm not saying anything really scientific or backing it up with any specific facts, but it did amaze me how much, what kind of psychosomatic and potentially physical effect it had on us. And the other cool thing, so that's one of my scenes, and then there's the regular, you know, warm white 2800K light scene that we use for normal operations. And then we have a setting for watching TV so that we can dim it down. It's a little more reddish, and it's great if you're watching a movie or TV.
And,
So
and your neighbors are cool with all this too?
Yeah, we're probably the longest people in the neighborhood, so we do whatever we want.
Good. So, you know, the amount of choices are just over the top. And when I went into this and was talking with AJ about doing this, we agreed to one product, and we're up to 2 now. So that's a 100% increase over what we had planned.
Yeah, this is one more control, just to show you. It's a little a wall mount controller that you can pick colors and dim down.
It's the good thing is that just like you said, even though your clock is ticking, as you said before, the good thing is that we'd like to have you back, and then we can start talking about some of the other options which are extensive. The way I always introduce IlluminFX is, and part of the reason that I said in the beginning have enjoyed and continue to enjoy working with these guys so much is because it's very rare that we're able to, or we need to say, no, we can't do that. I always try and say, you've got a lighting situation that needs to be solved. Give us a call. We'll probably be able to figure it out, and then we can go down the rabbit holes and stuff like that sometimes. But it's we can always usually figure something out to do one way or another.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us, AJ.
Chris, thanks for having me, and everybody, thanks for watching.
Thank you all. We'll see you next week.
Take care.